Hi, this is Coralla at CorallaFicklin.com, WelcomeNetwork.com, Welcome.com, iStudyGuides.com, iStudyCards.com, and if you want to pick up any of my writings, you can go to Pedians.com, Pedians. We have a lot more sites available, like MinimumPair.com, idiomaticexpressions.com, idiomaticsynonyms.com. But go to one of the sites, just click in, and then you'll see all the sites and all the names. Now, anyone who's seen any of my videos, I've made it very, 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 very clear that Spanish is not my language. I don't think anyone who speaks Spanish will say, "Oh, I'm surprised, she's such an excellent Spanish speaker." No one will ever be, no one's shocked. Okay, I have a very strong American accent. I'm very aware of that. Even though I lived in Mexico for many, many years. That's why I understand that someone can live in a country for many, many years and understand the grammar of a language, but not necessarily have the natural ability to pick up the accent. Okay, that you still have an accent, and a very strong one. But I do like to do research in Spanish, and I do like to research words in Spanish. And one thing that I like to do is I like to take one word and look at the different ways that one word is translated from Spanish into English. And I also do vice versa, taking a word in English and seeing how that word is translated from English into Spanish. I do that also, but I mostly enjoy doing it in Spanish. And then looking at different expressions with that one word. Because as I've said before in other videos, all words aren't equal. There's some words that have much more expression, that contain, in which expressions are contained. No, it makes no sense. There are words that have a lot of different translations because they have a lot of different meanings in its native language, and the culture, for whatever reason, uses that word in a lot of expressions. Let me give you an example, because otherwise I'm talking round and round. The word is soga, S-O-G-A. Hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but just in case I'm not, the word is soga. Now, the word soga has a number of different meanings. Most of the meanings are connected. So what I'm going to do is look at the word soga in Spanish, and then look out how it's translated into English, and in expression and in phrases how it's translated. Now, as you well know, I've said it 1,000 times, I'm not a native speaker, so I hope you're able to understand what I'm saying, despite the fact that it's not my native language. Okay, soga, and the translation would be in English: rope, cord, leather strap, or hangman's rope. Now, the hangman's rope means, for non-native speakers of either Spanish or English, is what they hang someone with. Because United States, as you well probably know, they still have capital punishment. Although most people are executed by lethal injection, that is, they put poisons in your vein. I think there still might be places where they hang you. I know that was the fate for Saddam Hussein. If you ever saw that video, which was horrible. Now, here's an expression which contains the word soga. By the way, it's feminine. It ends in A, but that's not always the case, because poema ends in A, but that's masculine. Okay. And here's the expression in Spanish: hablar de la soga en la casa del ahorcado. Okay. Hablar de la soga en la casa del ahorcado. Hope that is understood, especially by my Spanish-speaking friends who can tell my mistakes. And in English, it means to say something totally inappropriate, or to put one's foot in one's mouth, meter la pata. To put one's foot in one's mouth, or to say the wrong thing, Okay? So in Spanish, they have more than one expressions, But that's a very interesting expression using the word soga. Now, hacer soga, which means in English to lag behind, to stay behind. You stay further than everybody else. Everybody else is ahead of you and you're lagging behind. In English they'll say, stop lagging. Come on, come up where we are. A la soga al cuello. And cuello is this. A la soga al cuello, which means in English to be in hot water. But we have a lot of expressions that mean in English. Let me see if it's the next one I have. Okay, we have a lot of expressions to be in hot water. To be in hot water. I remember one time when I was in Mexico, and I didn't know that you couldn't translate, and I said, "Ooh, él está en agua caliente," and the people started laughing because they said, "What the devil does that mean?" Because it didn't translate very well. But it can be in hot water. This is more slang, and the person I remember saying this the most is George Bush, the first president, and he says to be or to step in doo-doo. And doo-doo in English, it's not a curse word, but I wouldn't use it everywhere. It's not as strong as mierda. It's like saying caca in Spanish, to step in doo-doo, okay, or to be deep in doo-doo. Little kids say it more than anything. Doo-doo is spelled D-O, which means, this is what you did. Or to be in the doghouse. That's usually with a married couple. The man comes home late and he says, I'm in the doghouse. Okay. Estar con la soga al cuello. To have one's neck in a noose. In English, it doesn't mean literally. If you have your neck in the noose, that means you're about to say something or do something that you're probably going to regret very strongly. Estar con la soga al cuello also means to have one's back to the wall. I think in Spanish, entre la espada y la espalda, between the sword and the back. I didn't say that correctly, but to have one's back to the wall, or I say to have one's back against the wall, means the same thing. To the wall or against the wall means the same thing. Once again, estar con la soga al cuello, to be in a pretty fix. Now, pretty here doesn't mean pretty as in beautiful. Here, pretty is not an adjective. Here, pretty is an adverb. That means to be in a, here's not it's not an adverb. To be in a big fix, to be in big problems. For example, if I say he's pretty happy, that means there is an adverb. That means he's very happy. You have to be careful because pretty is an adjective as well as an adverb. So if I say he's pretty happy or he's in a pretty big fix, that means there pretty means very. He's in a very big fix. Or to have a knife to one's throat. And when you have a knife to one's throat, you're in trouble. Pretty big trouble. Okay. Once again, estar con la soga al cuello, to be in immediate or imminent danger. Okay, so you can see it has quite a bit of translations. All right, I have about less than a couple seconds. Siempre se quiebra la soga por lo más delgado. Okay, and I think that's pretty well understood. The weakest go to the wall, or you're as strong as your weakest link. Dar soga a uno means to get someone to speak. That's not horrible. Dar soga a uno, to get someone to speak. And I have maybe one more to give you, and that would be dar soga a uno also means to make fun of someone. Okay, so soga, idiomatic expressions, one word has several different meanings. Corral Ficklin at corralofficklin.com.